Hi, in this video we're going to look at promoting your Facebook page or your website using Facebook ads. So right now I'm on my actual Facebook fan page or my business page, and I would use over here this link, promote with an ad. If you were on your personal page, it would be somewhere over here in this kind of list that's over here on the left menu and just say ads. So for now I'm just going to promote with an ad. And for my particular account, it's going to have me actually continue as my personal account. So I'll click on that. And it's going to put you right in to start setting up your ad. So let's just look at each one of these real quick. Destination. This is, you can, if you have multiple pages, you can pick which page you want. If you had applications, you could specify an application, or you can actually put an external URL, and then you would just put it there, the URL there. And we're just going to go actually to one of my pages. We're going to say Facebook ads, and you can read more information. You just click on that little question mark. Story type, page post ad. That is going to actually, it's going to put you right to one of your posts. I'm going to actually do Facebook ads for pages. And then the destination tab, if you have different tabs set up, you can specify where you want. So if you have a coupons application on there, you can do that. If you have like a landing page, you want to go to the landing page, wall info, whatever. If you're offering a coupon, that's a good one to go to, or your welcome landing page. So we're going to just say coupons. And if you're going to a Facebook page, if that's your destination, your title is locked in with that. If you go to an external URL, you get to specify that, and you have a limited number of characters. I'm going to put in the body. You have about, I think, 150, 160 characters total. You can choose a file, picture. If you don't pick a picture, it'll use the one that you're using for your page. And so you just pick whatever file you want to put up there on the ad. We'll get into targeting, and this is where you kind of narrow down. And what's nice about Facebook is you can really pinpoint what group of people you want to target. Obviously, 140 million people is basically set for everybody in the U.S., 18 and above. And so anyhow, that's a little, that's way too big of a number. So we're going to start narrowing down. So if you, depending on what your business is, if you're a local business, you might want to specify, a zip code or a city. If you are maybe a regional, maybe you want to do by state. And if you're multiple states, say maybe you're Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, instead of trying to do each of those states, probably be best to do one for Texas, copy the ad, change the destination, the location to Oklahoma, and then run that one, and then copy it again and set it up for Arkansas. I'm going to go with zip code. Actually, I'm going to go by city, and I'm going to say Katy, Texas. And then you specify how many miles within Katy, around Katy, Texas. I'm going to go 50. That's fine. Demographics. So you can specify who you're targeting. If you have a product that is only for men, you may want to select men. But if it's a great gift idea around maybe Christmas, maybe you want to have a specific ad towards women, have a different picture, whatever. And maybe you want to run one campaign that everything's the same, except for one you do men, and then you copy it and do one for women, and then maybe copy it again and do for all. Great thing is you can easily copy that an ad, and we'll look at that later, and change up one thing. And so we highly suggest that, play around with it, test it. Age group, a good suggestion has been set a 5 to 10 year age range, and then change the ages around. But maybe your business is specific to a certain age, and so you may want to specify a 10-year age range from 45 to 55, or 50 to 60 if you do financial services, and you specify them for retirement portfolios. So anyhow, pick the demographic that you want. We're gonna say 35 to 45-year-olds. Notice over here in the right, it's going to give you your estimated reach. Okay, so now you can start pinpointing by interest. There's two ways to do this. There's the broad category, and so you can maybe specify whichever one. So mine's more of business technology, and I'm going to go with small business owners. It's down here. Over here, it has now lowered that number of estimated reach, and it gives you all the things that you've set. You can also switch to precise interest targeting. And what you do is you start typing different things. So I can say small business, and so I want to specify small business. And then it's going to give you suggested things going around there. I want really small businesses, working home parents, social media marketing. Let's see, and then entrepreneurship. Those are the ones I'm going after. And so that's going to go. Maybe you want to see if there's more options. You can refresh that, and it's going to give you some more options there. So anyhow, you just kind of specify which ones you want. You can also, again, start typing, and it'll show you. Okay, connections on Facebook. Depends on what you're targeting. Most of the time, you are with ads, you're going to target people that are not fans of your page. So again, here, only people who are not fans of Local Mobile Online. Maybe you're targeting your fans, and you want to do it through an ad instead of your wall. You could use that, and so it's only going to be fans of your page. Friends of connections. Only show my ad to friends of the fans of Local Mobile Online. So maybe you want to get real close connections of people. I can specify that. It's probably going to be, it's going to be, if you're like me, I don't have a huge number yet, it's going to be a fairly small. Maybe you've got a couple thousand, and so you may be able to do that and give a pretty good number. Let's see. Advanced demographics, interest in, so these are settings that you set on your personal or fan pages. Relationships, if you're a jewelry shop, you may be wanting to promote engagement rings. So you wouldn't want married, you probably don't want engaged, you don't want single, but in a relationship might be who you're targeting. And then you can do by languages also. Let's see, education and work, and again, these are all things that people fill out, and is where it's getting this information. So education, you can say all, you can say college graduate, whatever. Workplaces, you can specify specific workplaces. Again, you just start typing, so Chevron or Cherokee Nation or whatever, you just start typing those in. Actually, I don't want to do that. And it'll bring up the list of people. Okay, and then down here to the last, campaigns, pricing, and scheduling. So here's where you're going to set a budget, and you have your campaign name. You can create a new campaign. So let's create, and so we're going to do test for video, and I'm going to set a budget. Now, you want to look, so this is going to depend on how much you want to do. The minimum is $1. If your minimum bid is over $1, then you're going to have to do more than $1. I can go back to an existing campaign, and you can do it, I guess, a lifetime budget. So if you had $100 and that was all you wanted to do, you could put $100 in there. It could go the first day. It could go several weeks, and go there. And campaign schedule, run my campaign continuously starting today. So this is just going to run forever, but most likely you probably want to set it an end date for it, and so you would set the date there. It's going to give you a suggested bid. You can either just take that bid, or you can set a different bid. And so you'll see here it's working, and it's going to give you a suggested bid. So if you wanted to, you could go lower end on this. But what this is the bid for the impression, not the actual click. I mean, that's what you're going to pay, but this is deciding how much you're willing to pay for that click. But it's going to tell you, it's going to kind of determine what priority you have for getting an impression, for getting shown on a Facebook page. If you have a high bid, your bid is going to take precedence over another lower bid. So if you're just experimenting, you may want to stay low. Maybe you want to stay close to the bottom of that, or maybe you just want to stay right at $1 or a little under that. And you can then review ad. It'll bring it up, and you'll see the ad name, all this kind of stuff. And if everything's good, you can then place an order. I'm going to go ahead and place the order. And it's going to give you the name and some information. Obviously, it hadn't started yet, so I'm not going to do anything there. Now, if you are wanting to do different testing, and so you want everything the same except for one area, maybe you want your age range to be different, you can create a similar ad, and it's going to fill in the same information. And so now you just go choose which information you want to change. So now I want to do 45 to 55. Set that, and you're going to check your bid again and place that order. I don't want to continue placing order, so anyhow, so that's Facebook ads. There's that's pretty much everything on there. Again, if you have a question what something is trying to get information for, you can click on the question marks and it'll give you a little bit more detail. So that's it for Facebook ads.